Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome on the Culture News. My name is David Serero, and I have the pleasure today on iHeartRadio to welcome such a wonderful, wonderful artist. Let me tell you, she has it all. She has it all. She's a critically acclaimed vocalist. She's a songwriter. Her performances are literally jaw-dropping. She has done so many amazing things. And of course, you have heard her on this very beautiful performance called Never Enough on the Oscar-nominated and Grammy Award-winning The Greatest Showman. She was absolutely phenomenal on this soundtrack. Her voice is simply mind-blowing. But guess what? She is bringing it even at a higher level today because she's bringing to us this wonderful, I would not say it enough, this wonderful new single called This Summer. And let me tell you, you can listen to that track every season of the year, you will still feel like it is the summer. The lovely, the gorgeous, and I'm very honored to have her today on the show, Loren Allred. Loren, how are you today, my dear?
Hi, David. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing so well. So excited to be here.
Listen, it is such an honor. First of all, I'm a huge fan of you, so I want you to know that, and that's number one. And number two is that I'm just crazy about that new track of yours because you are taking us to, again, do this new direction, to this wonderful new, I would say, genre, because you went a little bit to the AC, adult contemporary pop music with a blend of rock also in some ways, but yet you kept your beautiful vocal performances. So before we start to talk about all of that, my dear Loren, I would love to know more about yourself. I would love to know where you're from and how did you start music?
Sure. Well, I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and my parents are both classical musicians. My father's a choral conductor and professor, and my mother is an opera singer and vocal coach. So I was always surrounded by kind of a classical and musical theater influences growing up, and my mom would kind of teach me and my younger siblings all how to harmonize together, and that's kind of the story of my childhood and music, really. But it wasn't until I discovered kind of the big powerhouse vocalists like Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, that I really connected with my own voice and just kind of realized what the voice can do. So that's really my first influence into music, really.
And let me tell you, you have some very good genes in the family. Because God bless really your parents, and definitely we feel the vocal stamina that you have, the power of your voice, the perfect control, and the diction. We also hear it in your speaking voice, so that's really, really beautiful. You're absolutely wonderful. So then after you started to upload videos on YouTube, and you were in a way discovered and championed by a very young singer named Neo, who is like one of the top best singers and one of the best vocalists that I know. So can you tell us how that meeting started to come together? Because he after helped you in a way to sign a record deal with Iceland and Def Jam.
Sure. So, I always knew I wanted to be a singer. So I auditioned for the music school, Berklee College of Music in Boston. And when I was there, I met a friend named Chris who was there for piano. And we decided together that we would start uploading YouTube covers, which was kind of a new concept at the time. We knew YouTube as kind of a video hosting platform, but in terms of musical covers, there weren't many people doing that. And we just were having fun with it. We really wanted to get some feedback from people. And we posted maybe 5 or 6 videos, and I got a message from someone from Neo's team, and they asked me if I would come down to Atlanta and sing for them. And that eventually led me to leaving school taking the risk, moving to Atlanta and recording a bunch of demos to show to labels, and it eventually led me to signing with Island Def Jam Records, which was such a whirlwind for an 18-year-old student in music school.
Wow. Well, you are definitely late in your career, right? At 18 to sign with such, a great record label. I mean, at 18 years old, I don't know if I knew how to say my own name,
I mean, I can relate to that.
So you're doing, so that's, and you're right, the way how YouTube is such a tool, and especially at that time, people didn't post really covers of the famous stuff. So then after, in 2012, if I'm not mistaken, you entered this great competition, in a way, this great reality TV. I don't know how to call it, but for me, it's really, really such a huge platform, an important platform called The Voice. And you were selected with Adam Levine. So you just met all my favorite artists, Adam Levine, Neo, and yourself. So, so you did over there, you got great success. You killed it when you sang, I believe the very first blind audition that you did was When Love Takes Over. Is that right?
That's true, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, what I wanted to say is tell us that experience of going at The Voice, of auditioning, because now we know that The Voice is huge. That even seasoned professionals they go there because they're like, okay, I'm basically going to save $2 million of marketing and promotion, by going there. And I'm going to get gigs for the next at least 10 years. I'm kind of all set. But in those days, when The Voice started, it was, it needed some time to make its own place. How did you feel at that time? Were you offered it? Did you audition for it? How all of that happened, Loren?
I mean, even though I was signed, we saw the value in The Voice. And I think a lot of people don't realize that signed artists are still struggling. They still need to get themselves out there. And so I did do the whole audition process. There are many rounds of auditions before you see the blind audition. And it was really a learning experience for me. I had never done anything on TV, really. And really what we want as artists is exposure. And so that's exactly what The Voice did for me. And I still value that experience so much to this day.
And we value it also because we can still listen to these tracks also with our dear friends of Spotify. So please, if you have a chance, listen to it. Then after, in 2014, I think this is definitely one of the biggest highlights of your very important and beautiful career is you were selected as part of the recording ensemble of this very important film, which I think, being a fan myself of musical film, I think it took the musical film industry to a new level. It's called The Greatest Showman. It should have been called The Greatest Musical Film, but they call it The Greatest Showman. With of course Rebecca Ferguson and a lot of wonderful artists. So you tell us how all of that happened, because you sang there these beautiful performance of a beautiful song called Never Enough.
Sure. So, after being signed and going on The Voice and just kind of going back and forth with the label about when my album was going to get released as the years passed, I just kind of realized that I needed to take a mental break from the music industry. It wasn't kind of working out how I had hoped, which led me to kind of doing more behind the scenes work, such as studio work. So when I got into that industry in New York, I was hired to do the female demos for The Greatest Showman. And that's sort of when, and what I'm trying to say is usually the actress would kind of listen to the demo, and kind of emulate it just to learn the song, and then at the end of the day, it's their voice on the songs. But in this case, I recorded the demo to Never Enough, and Rebecca Ferguson heard the demo, and the producers decided that it might be a good fit for them to use my voice for that song specifically, which was something that was so unexpected for me, because I really just saw this as an amazing studio work opportunity to begin with. I thought it was incredible that I was even a part of what I believe to be the first original movie musical to happen in a very long time, and I got to sing in the ensemble parts of that movie. So the whole thing was a dream come true to me. But when it came to the song Never Enough, and they asked me if I would be comfortable leaving my voice in for the movie, I just really couldn't believe it. And that turned into kind of the perfect entrance back into the music industry for me.
Tell me, you told them when they offered you to record it properly and like on the definite recording, tell me you told them, oh, let me think about it. I'm not sure yet.
Oh, no,
tell
definitely
me you played
not.
it a little bit like that. I'm kidding.
No, there was no hesitation. The only hesitation really was kind of inside me. I had been used to being promised things. I think anyone that's working in the music industry gets kind of used to the rug being pulled out from under you. So I really decided I wouldn't believe that this could be true until I was sitting in the theater watching it. And lo and behold, that's what happened.
Yeah. You're so right. I mean, I always say if everything that was supposed to happen would have happened, we would all be billionaires, in that industry.
This is true. Low expectations, and you'll always be happy.
Exactly. So, of course, The Greatest Showman was a wonderful movie back in 2017. It starred Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, Michelle Williams, Rebecca Ferguson, and Zendaya, wonderful person, Zendaya. So we are, after a little bit fast forwarding, before your PR team kills me that I'm going longer than expected, but that's how it goes. You know what I mean? When we have such a great person such as yourself, I'm taking my time. That's how it goes. So if anything, I would say you talk too much. I would say that. No, I'm kidding.
This is my fault.
No, this is your fault. No, Loren, it's really an honor and a privilege to have you. So we are fast forwarding to these amazing, did I say amazing? I repeat it, amazing new track of yours called This Summer. This Summer is absolutely wonderful. I love the visuals, by the way. Really, really good. So tell us how that song was brought. How did you start to put that song together? Because before you were singing covers, so now you're doing this big leap in a way to sing your own material. How do you feel with that? Do you feel more pressure actually, or this is what you wanted to do?
This is always what I wanted to do. I'm so grateful for the opportunity of being able to sing Never Enough, and that enabled me to travel around the world and kind of be able to carry this huge ballad. But what happened is that it creates a lot of pressure for the follow-up. And I always knew that I wanted to kind of have a debut project, kind of introducing me as an artist. But following Never Enough I knew it was going to be a challenge. But what happened during quarantine is that I was just kind of alone in my apartment. I was also experiencing, I think just like a lot of us, a breakup at that time. And it just led me to writing some of the most vulnerable material I've ever written. And it just seemed like the perfect transition and something that I don't think would compete with Never Enough because it's so different. I really wanted to let fans in to my personal life. So I hope that it does just that.
Well, let me tell you, I do not wish you any breakups, but if a breakup leads to such a beautiful song, then, I kind of happy if you have more breakup, like how about a new breakup every week, that would be great, so we have a new This Summer every week. Can you believe that, guys? That would be so wonderful. No, definitely. Such a great track. I love how it starts, with the guitars and everything. just want to say to our audience that don't worry, at the end of this interview, of course, you're going to hear this summer and you're going to hear it massively. It's going to be non-stop until you know the lyrics by heart. I want everybody to share that music, to buy that music, to stream that music, to put a little word on social media. Loren is absolutely adorable. I also want to say that you perform with one of the greatest producer in the world. I think his name is David Foster, right?
That would be right.
That would be right. And you were a big fan. You grew up listening to people such as Celine Dion, so Whitney Houston. So how is it to perform with a little bit the man behind the music?
I mean, I think any vocalist grew up knowing exactly who David Foster was and had dreams of meeting him one day. And Michael Bublé reached out to me after I did The Greatest Showman to do a duet on his album, which then led me to meeting David Foster. And they're close friends. They work together. And I could not believe it. I got to perform on his PBS special. I got to tour with him, singing the very songs that I listened to growing up that taught me how to sing. So it's still so surreal to me to even believe that happened.
Well, listen, one of the best things you can say, someone doesn't have the pleasure of knowing you, you can say, listen, Michael Bublé recommended me to David Foster. That, I think you put just that phrase on your business card, You don't need to add anything else. I think it speaks of his own, because let me tell you, before one of these big guys recommends someone, it must be really exceptional. And that's what you are, Loren. You are absolutely exceptional. You can follow Loren on all of her social media, Loren Allred on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, Loren Allred Official, also on YouTube, Loren Allred Official, Spotify, and of course, she has a wonderful website. I say hello to our friend, Chantal Reader. My dear Loren, before we start to play your wonderful track, what is new for you after that? What are your next project? Hopefully, we will get past this pandemic, which in a way, for some artists, made us very creative. Like everybody recorded 5 albums, wrote 12 books, So I would love to know what is next for you after that.
I mean, I've written a lot of material. We have a whole EP ready to go. We're probably going to release a couple more singles in the following months to come, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I'm really, really proud of this new music, and I think it's going to be very relatable, since this is the first time the whole world has really been through exactly the same thing at the same time. So I hope everyone enjoys it.
Well, everyone will, and if they don't, I will go personally to their houses to make sure that they enjoy it. I'm going to go to knock on everyone's door. I'm going to start in my own building and to pass them the track of this summer. I'm going to play it in the lobby of the apartment. I'm going to have, these JBL speakers. I'm going to be your best ambassador, Loren. You're not going to find better than me out there. I tell you that. Even Michael Bublé and David Foster, they're going to say, look, we're great musicians, but David is a better promoter. Just have to accept it.
You can come on the road with me.
And you have my cell phone. You reach out anytime you have something. I want you to know, Loren, this is your show. This is your station. This is your, you have the keys. So you just call and boom, we will talk about what you do, because you are definitely someone who makes life around better. And we love what you're doing. We love to see you. You're gorgeous. You're a wonderful singer. Is there anything you do that is bad? Tell me that you cook bad. Tell me you play bad basketball. Let us make us feel good, because we're like, oh my God, I thought I did something with my life. And when I see you, when I see all the things you've done, when I see your level, I'm like, I'm the worst singer ever. So tell me that there's something that you do that, not as good as everybody. Tell us, like basketball, you play bad, you cook bad. Tell us.
Well, traveling a lot has led me to not spending a lot of time in the kitchen. So in that sense, you are correct. I'm not a very good cook, but I did experiment during quarantine. I'm trying to get better, but don't come over for dinner in the meantime.
Well, listen, the dinner, if people come over to you, the last thing they will think is, what are we going to eat? They'll be like, oh, I'm honored to meet Loren, No, but, I'm a wonderful cook on Uber Eats. Like anything you want to eat, I know how to order it perfectly.
We have that in common.
No, but Loren, it takes a lot of work to be able to really type what you want to order. If you want not spicy, too much spicy, etc. You have to know really. It takes a lot of years. I did trainings for that to be able to order on Uber Eats. So if you ever need to order on Uber Eats, then you can count. Okay, now ladies and gentlemen, the lovely, my name is David Serero. I had the pleasure today on iHeartRadio to have the absolute gorgeous, this gem of coming directly from God's beautiful person, beautiful singer, Loren Allred. Loren Allred is in one word, Loren Allred. Please check her out. Loren is spelled Loren. Loren Allred. She has this new song this summer. Check it out. Definitely purchase it, stream it. I want 1 million streams by the end of the week. I want everybody on it, all our forces. But right now, it's this summer, but the lovely Loren Allred. Stay tuned with us.